Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review on the two latest products to be released by Jeffree Star, which is his Magic Star Concealer as well as the Magic Star Loose Setting Powder. The shade that I got for the concealer is C18 and I got the banana shade of the setting powder. These both retail at the same price for some strange reason. This is £21 and this is also £21. This is what the concealer itself looks like up close. Very, very cool, very unique, but very likely to break, as in that bit at the top. But obviously it's Jeffree Star. He wanted to be a little bit different and I actually quite like it. It's like a wand, you know, ding. And then the actual applicator itself is this doe foot applicator, which is in a teardrop shape. And it's got this central bit which actually goes through round to both sides. I've not seen that with other concealers. Normally they just have a nib in the middle. This basically means that extra product can be held in there, meaning that you don't have to keep going back into the tube to get more product. You should be able to cover quite a lot of your face just from one dip into the actual tube itself. And then this is what the Magic Star setting powder looks like. It's got this metallic pink lid on it, which is really cool. If you like metallic pink, that is, with the Jeffree Star logo, of course, on the front. And then when you open it up, forgive me because I've made a mess because I actually forgot to close the sifter. So this is what it looks like. It's got a sifter in the middle. If you stupidly leave it open, this is what will happen. But this is just to show you guys what the inside of it looks like. You shift it round to cover the area where the sifter holes are. Now, starting off with the concealer, altogether there are 30 shades. However, are those 30 shades good enough? Not for me, they're not. Now, I got C18. I found it very difficult to choose my shade. I watched his review video. I watched him show swatches, which were helpful on Gabriel Zamora because he is around my skin tone. And based on that and then other swatches that I'd seen on Instagram, etc., I decided on this shade. Now, I do have to say that after looking at a lot of the swatches that were shown on medium tan skin like mine, I'm more on the tan side and I've got very, very yellow undertones. Quite a lot of the concealers within the medium and tan section just did not have enough yellow or warmth to them. Quite a few of them just looked very neutral, quite beige. And that is what I found with this one as well. I think the only one that had a decent amount of yellow in it was C14. But unfortunately, if I had bought that, that would have been like stark under my eyes and a bit too much. Because even if I look at the swatches right now on my phone on Trend Mood's Instagram page, I mean, there's C18 and then C19 looks almost zombie grey. So that wouldn't have worked for me. C20's got a little bit more yellow to it, but it would be, again, too dark. C21 is way too orange, and then you go into the deep skin tones. So pretty much not really any real representation for people who've got skin tones such as mine. Regardless, I decided to get one anyway because I'm not going to lie, this shade does kind of work for me. It does give a bit of brightening. I just don't find that it's got enough yellow in it, especially in comparison to a lot of my other concealers that have got quite a lot of yellow, and therefore it looks a lot more natural against my naturally yellow skin tone. So C18 is described as tan skin with neutral undertones. C17, tan skin with rose undertones, wouldn't work for me. C16, tan skin with warm neutral undertones, it was just too light. C15, tan skin with golden olive undertones, nope. And then C14, medium skin with yellow undertones. Why is this the only one that I can see that actually has the word yellow undertones in it? Like, if I go through all of them, C21 has golden yellow undertones, but that's for deep skin. So Jeffree, if you're listening, if you're watching, I know you wanted to know whether or not people were feeling left out. You've only got one or two shades which have actually got the description yellow undertones in it. You really need to expand that section between C14 and C19 and throw in a couple of yellow undertones because you are missing out on quite a large market. Now, to the concealer itself. £21, is it worth it? Now, obviously the tube makes it look really, really, really big. Now, when I look underneath it to see how much is within these, 3.4 mil. That is nothing. Like, what are you trying to do to us, man? Like, I know he addressed it in his video that, oh, it's only got this much because a little bit goes a really long way. Yeah, fine. But Why are you charging us £21 for it then? Like, come on. Are you charging us for the packaging? Yes, you are. Don't forget I'm a marketer, yeah? I know how all of this stuff works. I've been doing it for a living for the past 15 years. A lot of money goes into the packaging, which then gets passed on to the consumer. 3.4ml is the smallest amount of concealer I own overall. There's hardly anything in it. It will not last that long. Now for me, because I'm a YouTuber and I show makeup and that sort of thing, I've got quite a lot of concealers on the go. I will not finish it as quickly as somebody who would have just bought this and only owns this will get through this very, very quickly. So that is a minus in my books. There needs to be a lot more product in this. If you have to compromise on the size of your tube, go for it. At the end of the day, we as consumers are more interested in the product than how it is shown to us. As long as obviously it doesn't fall apart and break, which let's be honest, this star eventually will come off, and it's kind of dangerous as well. It's really sharp. We don't care. All right, let me just go onto Jeffree's website itself and just read what their claims are and let you know what my thoughts are. It says a unique, creamy, high coverage liquid concealer formula, comes in over 30 shades. It helps to even out skin tone, has 20% pigment and can cover tattoos. Anti-aging properties help reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Increased wear time and a self-setting effect keeps you looking flawless for hours. Fragrance-free, paraben-free, talc-free. That's quite simple and straightforward. Creamy, yes. High coverage, liquid concealer, yes. Even out skin tone, yes, I do find that it does. 20% pigment and can cover tattoos, yes, I have tested it on my tattoo. Not that I'm going to be ever putting any concealer on my wrist because don't need to. Anti-aging properties help to reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Unfortunately, that is something that you can't really put a claim to unless you've been using it for a good 3 to 4 months. I've been using it for 3 to 4 days. So whether it does or it doesn't, I don't know. Increased wear time and self-setting effect. Self-setting? Now, Jeffree. Now. It does need to be set with a powder because I timed it. I put it on, I blended it out. It took about 5 to 6 minutes before I saw them creases start to appear. There is no self-setting effect. Why are you lying? Okay? So I don't know why you would even put that. I don't think I've ever seen anyone put that as their description for a concealer, but okay. No, you do need to set it if it's under the eyes. On the face, that's completely different. It's a smooth area. Increased wear time keeps you looking flawless for hours. Now, I have to say that from my point of view, yeah, it is a very, very, very full coverage concealer. A little bit does go a really, really long way. When I put it in and I pull it out, I do not have to put it back in. I can cover my under eyes, the high points of my face, and I've still got extra in here. Now, it is creamy and it blends out very, very, very easily. I did not have to I did not have any actual difficulty in blending it out or anything like that. And it definitely does give full coverage. I did not have to apply any extra on top. However, it does need to be set with a setting powder, whether that is the Jeffree Star one or any other setting powder. After 7 to 8 hours, I noticed under one of my eyes that it had started to crease in one of the eyeball lines, as I call them, under my eyes. So in terms of how long that lasts, 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours. And the joke is that I was not even any kind of high temperature. I wasn't around any heating. It was a relatively pleasant day. I had not done any extra work. I wasn't out and about. I was actually just chilling at home. Now, in terms of what marks I give this, I think I would give this an 8 out of 10. Firstly, like I said again, the price point I don't think reflects the actual product itself. You're paying for the packaging, which I would like to choose to say I don't want to. I don't need all this stuff on the top. I like this pretty, it's cute, but it's going to go in my drawer and that's it. And you definitely need to put more product in here. 3.4ml, at least you could have done is make it a clean 4. I mean, what's with the 3.4? And again, in terms of the shade range, yeah, 30 shades is great, but you've missed out a very large market when you have missed out so many people who've got warm yellow undertones. So that's the reason why I'm giving it an 8. In terms of how it performs as a concealer itself, the coverage is great. It definitely dries down to a very nice soft matte finish. So it's not shiny, it does not glide around or move around, it does not get patchy either. So in that respect, that's why this gets an 8 out of 10. Let's now move on to the powder. Now, like I said, it costs £21 in the UK, but $22. I mean, you in the US, you lot take the mick with the exchange rates over here. Like, what are we trying to do to us? It comes in 8 shades, which is great. And the shade that I bought was Banana, thinking it is a classic banana shade. Wrong. This shade is more like mustard. It's definitely not a banana shade, and it definitely does not brighten my under eye area. If you are a couple of shades darker than me, then this will work as a typical banana shade. But if you're going to call it banana, it needs to be the classic banana shade, like the Ben Nye banana powder. You know, this is a mustard colour. And unfortunately, what I found that when I paired it with this, it did not brighten that area. It just kind of kept it, meh, and a little bit yellowy looking as well. Because, like I said, it's not a banana colour, it's a mustardy colour. And this is described on their website as banana is medium to tan skin tones with golden undertones. Best for ultra brightening. Well, no, it's not. It didn't brighten my under eye area. It actually made it just kind of match the rest of my face, which you guys will shortly see when I demo it. Topaz, light medium skin with neutral undertones. I saw swatches of that on people online. It wouldn't work for me. And then the next one being beige. Fair, light and medium skin tones with golden undertones. Sorry, but you're covering off too many people. Fair, light and medium. I'm medium. I'm not the same as somebody who is light. And that, to me, just from looking at the colour and seeing what I saw online, looks more like the kind of Laura Mercier translucent powder, but with a hint of beige thrown in there. That's it. So again, you've missed out a whole bunch of people again. So what their claims are is introducing our first ever setting powder formula. This ultra fine, soft and luxurious formula is infused with vitamin C and E with a special blend of silica that controls oils and keeps you looking flawless all day. Experience the airbrush Jeffree Star approved blurring effect. Pores who? Creasing who? Can't relate. Okay. Currently available in 8 stunning shades. Yeah, well, sorry, but this did crease. This creased when I used this. So creasing who? You, that's who. Now, I do have to say that I give this powder, I'd say a 5 out of 10. I'm really not that happy with it at all. Firstly, I don't mind the smell of it so much. It's like smells like candy floss from the fun fair. But that smell does linger on my face for quite a long time. I could smell it for a good 2 hours after I'd applied it, and I don't want that. I like that it smells like this, but I don't want to smell flipping candy floss when I've sprayed myself with Chanel. Thank you very much. Also, I'm not going to lie, I really don't like this sifter thing. I actually really don't like it. I left it closed and still product managed to escape. Personally, I prefer ones which have just got a nice little simple, you can tap it in here and that's it. No muss, no fuss, no mess. Now, I know that it says it's an ultra fine, soft and luxurious formula. This is not ultra fine. This is not finely milled. This is more reminiscent of the quality and texture of slightly thicker powders. Now, Huda Beauty's baking powder is very finely milled. This is a lot more chunky. This is a lot more like the Colourpop No Setting Powder. Infused with vitamin C and E with a special blend of silica that controls oils and keeps you looking flawless all day. Well, I do have to say that I wasn't going to apply this all over my face because can you imagine? If I put that on, I'm going to start looking like Lisa Simpson. Now, I do have to say that another reason why I really don't like this, it reminded me a lot of the Fenty Beauty setting powder. As soon as I applied it, it's like it sucked all the moisture out of my skin. It felt tight, it felt dry, and it felt uncomfortable. I could feel it under my eyes, I could feel it on my chin. I can never feel anything on my chin. I could feel it on my nose as well. And I could feel it, and it was like that for most of the time that I had it on. Now, to look at myself, I was like, and I also look slightly aged because it's done that thing where it's literally so drying that it is making any lines or anything under my eyes stand out a lot more. So whereas this apparently has the claim of anti-aging properties, this goes and ruins it afterwards. So who wants to look older? I know I don't. So I'm gonna have to say that I actually just really don't like it for all of those reasons. I don't think it's worth the money as well. Let's go into the weight next, shall we? How much this weighs in comparison to some other ones that I've got. 10 grams. 10 grams, right? I've got the Huda Beauty one here in the shade Banana Bread, which is actually kind of beige, you guys. I don't really like this colour either. This is 20 grams. Similarly priced. Let's look at the Makeup Revolution one for a more affordable one. 42 grams. Now this is a proper banana colour. One of my favourites, the Peach Perfect Setting Powder by Too Faced. 35 grams. Similarly priced. And then of course the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. 29 grams. Every single one of these has way more product than this. £21, and all you've given us is 10 grams. 10! That is ridiculous. So like I said, 8 out of 10, 5 out of 10. I'm going to demo this for you now. I've got most of my makeup done. Let me just take this out. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to actually use a beauty sponge to bake under my eyes, just to show you guys a different way of using it. Personally, I prefer to use a brush normally, but I also found that a brush was not able to pick this up as well as something like this. So that's another thing which is a minus. Alright, just to quickly show you guys, I've had it on under a minute and it's creased. Shall I zoom in so you can see? Okay, so it is all on my face now, and oh my god, it feels like the Sahara underneath my eyes. And I have to look up close now as well. Oh my god, no. It's like the bit that had creased here, despite me smoothing it out, the powder has just gone and sat inside that crease and just accentuated the crease. Yeah, no, all it's done is make me look slightly yellow where I have carved out these areas, and on my nose it has almost erased the neutralness of this. I don't see brightening under my eyes. I do see something, but it's not enough for me, and it just feels so dry, and that smell of candy floss is just up my nose. I just don't like it. Right, so what I'm going to do is let me finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I will finish the rest of the review. Okay, so I am back. My makeup is now done. On my lips I'm wearing Jeffree Star's Velour liquid lipstick in Thick as Thieves. My face feels really dry. That's the only way I can describe it right now, especially because I've got so much on here, which is more than I normally wear. I do have to say it looks very flawless, don't get me wrong, but flawless aside, I don't like to be able to feel that I've got makeup on my face. Yeah, that is definitely going to start to crease in the next few hours, so not too happy about that. FYI, I bought mine from Beautylish in the US because it sold out on Beauty Bay's website within like the first 5 minutes, and they have not restocked since. Beautylish, while it is a US based company, if you spend over $35, shipping to the UK is free. Normally get to kind of sort out your taxes and customs and whatever beforehand, which really just adds up to the price you would have paid for delivery anyway. And as a result of that, you don't get customs charges when it gets to here because you've already paid any kind of charges beforehand. I do have to say one thing is when I got the packaging, look at what it came in. It came wrapped in this. This, for those of you that don't know what this is probably thinking, what? These are Jeffree's tattoos, because we know his body is covered in tattoos. So there's the Mona Lisa, Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman, Johnny Depp, Edward Scissorhands, Kurt Cobain with something on his head which resembles that he's supposed to be Jesus. Okay. Elvis, a tiger, and random other things. So that's just a nice little personal touch from Jeffree. So that's it for my review. I hope you guys found it useful and helpful. If you've got any comments or questions, ask me below. And on that note, I will see you all later. Bye.